to subtract two terms in a polynomial. So we're subtracting two terms in a polynomial. I like this question because it brings out an interesting point, and that is, it doesn't matter what the variables look like. The strategy for me to subtract two terms like this, which our first term is 10 times y squared, and then subtracting 15y squared, is to just use the coefficients. It goes back to a simple property that I covered in my other videos, which is if you have some number, x, minus another number times x, you can think of that by just subtracting those two numbers first, and then writing down the x. And this is true because of the distributive property, and it works also through observation. And here we have 10 times y squared. Well, it's not an x, it's a y squared, and that's why this is nice, because it doesn't matter what this variable is here. It could be something really ugly. It's still just 10 minus 15, subtract my two coefficients, and that times y squared. 10 minus 15 is negative 5, and then we still have our y squared, so it's negative 5y squared. And our answer is C. And if we had, I just want to show one example. Let's say it was something like this, 10 and then xyz squared and then a to the 44th power. Well, what if that was our cluster of variables? That minus 15, same thing over here, xyz squared a to the 44th. Well, as long as these cluster of variables are the exact same, we could just take 10 minus 15, solve that first, which is negative 5, and then rewrite that whole cluster of variables. It follows the same pattern every time, and that would be our answer. And it goes back to this idea that if you have a times some variable or group of variables minus b and then the same group of variables, we can solve it by just subtracting the coefficients and then rewriting the variable.